I'm a Sports Med 3 student, and I'm doing my project on motion analysis in running. An overall overview of my project is that I thought it'd be interesting to do a project on running because just how many different ways there are to do it. Like each individual has a slightly different running style, and for running, there is no one perfect running style that everyone should aspire to. It's all based off of your previous running style because everyone starts with a slightly different one, and your physicality. While I did do a lot of very personalized exercises, I also did more just overall ones. And it shows here because an overview of my exercises is that I based it mostly off of my style and my physicality, but I also tried to pick different people's styles that were based more closely to me, like people that were taller or people that had a running style like I did. I also did more general workouts that will just improve anybody's running ability and form because there's a few basic things like keep your back straight, don't swing your arms too much. My pre-testing, which had several major errors in it, which I'll be able to show you if I can just get back there. Okay, apparently not. All right, so my pre-testing, so you can see me running in here, and I'll pause it so you can get a better sense of how I'm running and how bad it is. Okay, so this is a really good example. So as you can see, my stride is way too spread out. No, actually, opposite. My stride is not too spread out. Like this is probably the maximum my stride gets all run, and even then, it's a little too close for how my legs are. As you can see, I'm not extending my legs to their fullest extent, and my arms are like knives trying to cut through the air, which is really just slowing me down. My head's too far forward. I'm leaning too far forward. My back and hips are not even close to aligned. So overall, but you can see a bit of a basic running style in there. So the stretching that I did a knee hug stretch, a kneeling hip flexor, a seated hamstring stretch. I also did a toe touch, ilioband, and piriforms to get me ready for any workout I had to do. Exercises, I did squats, mountain climbers, Superman, tricep dips. I also used leg raises, walking lunges, step-ups, and push-ups. I also just did a lot of running overall, just basic running. This was probably the most difficult part, choosing a style. It was also probably my favorite because there's so many different styles. The most efficient way I found was looking at marathons, but so many different styles and comparing them was difficult. But I was able to find some that were like me. And I worked on altering my running style to better fit there. It's basically head being more upright, facing forward. I noticed really much more relaxed posture, and also my legs could be much more further spread out. I could take much greater strides. The technique, getting in the nitty-gritty, was really stabilizing my upper body was very important because I was moving it way too much during the run. And it kept me from going as fast as I possibly could because it was putting up a lot of resistance. So instead of me just cutting through and focusing on the basic resistance, I was constantly switching it up. And I was trying to control it, so I had to use more energy to control my body, and it was not letting me run as fast. My arms were also very rigid, as you saw, like the knife-like rigid movement, as opposed to just a basic run, which is what it should be. So once again, I wasn't cutting through the air as fast as this woman is, but I was also wasting more energy, so it was really overall just bad. Another problem with my running form was my stride. I did not use my long legs to their full potential, and I should have been using them more. I actually hypothesized this comes from me not wanting to get too far ahead of anyone that I was talking to. So if I use my long legs, I would actually be stopping or slowing down just to keep pace. To correct this, I actually tried walking at my full stride for about a week or so, and it really helped. The stride was probably the thing I improved the most on. So how I'm leaning also affects my run. I'm leaning a little too far forward for it to be like a long distance run, which is what I'm trying to focus on here is long distance. But I'm also leaning too far back for it to be a good sprint. So overall, my leaning form is just bad for both. Another thing that I noticed in almost all the best runners was that they really just relax when they run. And I was much too stiff, much too robotic when I was running. Part of this is that it tricks your body into being more relaxed, so it doesn't quite waste as much needless energy. It's much easier to not move stuff over if you're overall just more relaxed. It also lets you expend less energy through needless movement because you're not really moving needlessly. It also relaxes your body, and it thinks that you can sweat more. But you don't sweat during a workout, but you will sweat after. Well, this tricks your body into thinking that it is like just after a workout, and it will actually let you sweat more, which replenishes you. So this is my post-testing. Yeah, and as you can see, my running style here is, especially my strides are greatly increased. And here, I'll pause right here. See, my arms are more relaxed. My posture is much more aligned. My head is much better position. Instead of leaning forward all crazy, my head is in a much better position. My back and hips are greatly aligned. My legs have a much greater stride, and my arms are just much more relaxed. In conclusion, my program was a success, even though 2 days before my post-testing, I had an injury, so I couldn't work on any of it, and a little bit during it. I couldn't put quite as much pressure on my right foot. But you can still notice improvement. I really like this project because it has a lot more different variables and different stuff that would happen than, say, my last one, which was on proper tackling form in rugby, which is there's basically just one. It was fun finding out different ways of running and picking out the best one for me. Overall, but there is some basic stuff like obviously keep your back straighter and just relax. Overall, I feel like this program could be used on a more universal scale. I will even apply it to my own personal hobbies like hiking and biking because I believe the overall template of researching styles and applying it in the way I did is successful and good. Overall, the project is both educational, fun, and personally